What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Empowered Dynasty. And I'm the boss, Q the boss. And listen, today's topic is talking about me. Sound kind of arrogant, don't it? But me, what I'm going at is this. Everything in life starts with the person that's in that mirror. When you learn to look at that person in that mirror and say that that person is everything, me. It's how do you see yourself? It's what do you believe about yourself? It's how do you think about yourself? Have you ever asked that question with yourself, like, how do I feel about myself? Do you love the person you see in that mirror? I'm being honest. And we're having a real discussion today. It's about me. I'm looking at y'all talking to myself right now. And I want you to look at yourself and say the same thing. Do I love myself? I finally can honestly say yes. Am I proud of myself? I can finally honestly say yes. Am I working towards my potential? I can honestly look at myself and say yes. Am I being a better self? I can honestly look at myself and say yes. So what I'm getting at is everything starts with me. And vice versa to you. Everything starts with you. So learn that that person that's in that mirror, they're the successor to what you want from life. There is no key other than God that you've been missing. All you've been lacking is confidence. All you've been doing is adding on to your fears. All you've been doing is second guessing. All you've been doing is not making any steps. Your urgency every life should be to push yourself to the next level. But it starts with you, as it starts with me. And while I'm having this conversation and discussion with you, I'm throwing myself under the bus. I've been a victim of my own circumstances. I've been a very lazy person. I've been a person that always wanted to figure out shortcuts. So I'm talking to me too. And let's talk to you. And we have a conversation with me. So from me to you. So what I'm getting at is, look, that mirror, every day when you look in that mirror, that discussion should ultimately be, this is how you start your mornings. This sounds like myself. Today is a mystery. Yesterday is history. And anything I do based on tomorrow or for tomorrow will ultimately puts me to my goal. See, listen, your goal starts with every decision that you make going forward. Everyone wants this instant success, man. And I used to think like that. I thought it really existed. And I thought I was going to just wake up successful. But that's why I had to stop lying to myself. So I'm going to tell you something. The greatest conversation one could have with itself is the truth. I told myself the truth. I got tired of lying to myself. My lies used to sound like this. If my dad was here, I would have never ever went through this. And if my dad was where he was supposed to be. If I didn't grow up in a bad neighborhood, I wouldn't be as tough. So that same neighborhood I'm complaining about growing up in, it actually made me the man I am today. A warrior, fearless, willing to make sacrifices. So it started with me. Everything you go through in your life is meant for you to go through it. And the moment you accept that is the moment you'll continuously go through it until you get out of it. Everything you've gone through in life is what's meant to be. And sometimes you got to be realistic with yourself. You ever met somebody and within seconds you can meet them and know that that person that they're dating is not for them? You see every red flag that they ignore. But yet and still, they will make every excuse for the person. So now you deal with it. If you choose to eat poison, don't be mad that you're being poisoned. You chose to eat poison. You chose to drop out of college. You chose to stay at this job that you complain about every day but not try to work yourself out of it. It's you. It's not the world. No more victim. And I tell myself, I'm not a victim anymore. The only victim is my children because I'm not becoming the greatest self. The only victim is your family because of the fact that every day you making excuses and ultimately you're not even getting tired of your own excuses. Because you're saying so much that you become an excuse person. Everything is excuse. Everything is the world. Everything is him, her, them, they. What about you? What about me? Him, her, them, they, she. There's no me. There's no I. There's no you. We avoid those conversations. We avoid talking to yourself and holding yourself accountable to your words. You avoid saying that you did it. I'll give you a story. One day, one of my good friends, and he was a good friend of mine for years, he actually stole from me, right? And I'm gonna blow your mind. This is where my fault come in. He stole from another friend years ago. I ignored it. And in my mind, I said he would never do that to me. And I'm gonna tell you something. If a person can do something negative to a good person, what makes you not think they can do it to you? What makes you honestly believe this person can't do it to you, but they were willing to do it to the other person? You're not exempt. A horrible person only knows how. They just look for opportunities to take advantage of you. That's the objective. Once they find that loophole or that little entry, then they're going to take advantage. They just got to find a hole. And once they find it, they will. So my fault was the fact that he stole from me wasn't his stealing. It was my willingness to allow him into my world to have the easy way to steal from me. He had access to it. So everything I've done from this to this point, everything is me. What I could have did different. What I should have did different. How could I handle this? How could I did this? So my whole life became, when I started talking to myself, it became everything about me doing what's right for me. Sometimes you gotta start living for yourself. The problem is everybody out here living for others. They're worried about what the world perceives them as, what car they drive, what car they don't have, how much money they have. You're worried about all the wrong things. Start running your race and worrying about yourself. And that's those conversations you need to have in the mirror, because no one knows where you've been. See, I can diss you for where you are today, but I don't know where you've been. And when I don't know where you've been, I'm not understanding that you've come from so much. See, you're not patting yourself on the back enough. You're not giving yourself enough credit. You building yourself and shooting yourself down, not realizing that you've had the world and odds stacked against you, but yet and still you survive. But you don't want to give yourself no credit. Some of those people that you're impressed by, they had easy roads to success. Some of those people that you're impressed by, they had mommies and daddies that had great funding. But yet and still you don't see that you did not have that jump start. One thing I will say to you is, you never folded. You never gave up. You never submitted. Meanwhile, you could have threw in the towel years ago, but you didn't. So it shows your level of strength. You're just not applying it to the right factors. Because what happens is that strength that you may have, you may be giving off that extra strength you have, you might be giving it to somebody else. Because you've been the shoulder too long for people to keep holding on to. Everybody's holding on to your shoulder. Maybe it's time for you to start doing things for yourself now. Enough. You cannot save the world if you don't save yourself first. I hate to say this is the realities. Everyone wants to help everybody in the world. But once you fix yourself, then you can start helping out other people. A broke person can't help a person make money when they don't have any money. A person with bad health cannot offer organs. You have bad health. It's almost over. It's just what it is. Learning that, work on yourself every day. Start saying to yourself, I got to do better. I got to make better choices. I'm not making no more excuses. I'm not looking for the world to save me. I'm going to save myself. And also keep God in the midst. Because there is nothing that's unattainable if God is in the midst of it. Because last time I checked, the Bible says faith without work is nothing. Meaning all the faith in the world means nothing if there's no work. And it's the realities. But yet and still we ignore that stanza right there in that Bible. It says that means a lot. I truly believe that God will help you get to wherever you want to be as long as you're putting in that work. You know, I've watched this Empowered Dynasty thing grow from the fact that I would not submit. This was an idea that was in my mind that came to fruition. And it's starting to move to the magnitude of what I wanted to because of the fact that I knew and I know I won't quit. It's perseverance. One of the greatest stories I tell everybody to tap into is the tortoise and the hare. Everyone knows by gift, the hare, which is the rabbit, he's gifted with speed. Look at it. Look at the gift. He's very fast. The tortoise is slow. But the one thing about the tortoise, they don't quit. His resilience is he won't stop. Yet and still, slow and steady, won his race. So the hare, who's gifted with the speed, got so complacent and so comfortable that he laid down plenty of times. He laid down. He took a nap too long, and ultimately the tortoise won the race. So sometimes you gotta look at yourself as that tortoise and look at people like, you may be more gifted than me, but if I keep working, I'm going to surpass you. It's just the truth. It's going to happen. So a lot of people that have gifts, they get very comfortable. They get complacent. You might not be the smartest reader. You might not be the fastest thinker. You might not be the most highest employed. But yet and still, if you run your race, you will surpass everybody that's running the same race you're running. You got to run your race. See, the tortoise ran his race. He didn't care what the hare was doing. He ran his race. And at the end of it, he won the race. See, you might have started 10 laps behind in a race. But yet and still, if you keep working towards that finish line, you eventually gonna get there. But the one thing you gotta learn, everything starts with you. There is nobody other than yourself that can help you. God can help you. And one thing he'll know is once he see you start putting in the work, he'll put people around you that'll believe in your idea more than people that have been around you for 100 years. Look what I just said. I'm gonna say that one more time. When you start working towards a dream and you start putting in real work, God will put people around you who believes in your vision and will help you take your vision to the next levels. But you have to be willing to open up to new energy. See, sometimes the bad energy that you've been around so long is the hindrance to why you haven't gotten anywhere. It's holding you back. It's stunting your growth. Why? Because a negative person only knows how to regurgitate negative information. Negative thoughts only push out negative results. The more negative you think, the more negative your actions are, the more negative your results are. It's simple logic. You cannot reprogram a mind that doesn't want to be reprogrammed. The art to change in life is changing yourself. Everything starts with me. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today, I'm working on becoming a better me. No matter what goes on around the world, I'm going to continuously have a positive outlook on it. I'm not going to cry about my circumstances no more. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Because you know what? It's God's way of testing me, so I got to get the test before I can get the bless. You don't get the blessing if you don't go through the testing. It's not reality. He allows you to go through these stories and these journeys and these paths before you hit your results. You'll never reach your pinnacle if you don't challenge yourself to be great. Stop making excuses. Look in that mirror. Start having those conversations with yourself and say everything starts with me. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Listen, also follow me on Instagram at QTheBoss 516 QDABOSS 516. Till next time, don't let that go over your head.